Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss about the heat waves. Okay, uh, one of the severe disasters that will impact India. Previously, we have studied about another disaster uh, uh, that is landslide. And today, this is also very common in India. Heat wave disaster is common in India, especially in the summer months. Okay, summer season you will see these years from the past few years. Every year you are seeing one region or the other, or that for that matter, one state or the other in India being declared as, or heat wave is being declared in one or the other states. If you take some states like Telangana, even Telangana in South India, and Uttar Pradesh in North India, there are more than once in the same season, more than once heat wave is being declared in these states. Okay, this also indicates the increasing severity of the heat waves, and especially the primary cause for this is the climate change, the issue of climate change. Okay, so this is a broader overview about the heat waves. With this information, we will go a little bit deeper, and we will discuss about the heat wave as a disaster in our country. Okay, first of all, we will try and understand what is heat wave. You might have heard about this word, not exactly the word heat wave, but people, especially the elderly people, ask us or ask the children not to venture out during the summer season. Okay, because it is very hot outside, and it is not advisable to venture outside. Especially they will tell to children. Okay, during the summer seasons where there is lot of hot weather is there. Okay, that too you will see this during the noon season. Okay, then afternoon, or noon time and afternoon time, maybe uh, you know from 12 p.m. onwards, this impact may be there severely until 4 p.m., or in sometimes it can go up to 4 p.m. Okay, this is the you know period in a day where there is a there is occurrence of unwanted things or health impacts because of the high heat or the heat wave. Okay, so heat wave is nothing but, we know very well, we know all the aspects about the heat wave, what is heat wave, why it comes, but we have to learn that from the point of view of disaster management, and we have to use the right words. Okay, that will be our emphasis in this lecture. Okay, heat wave is nothing but, there will be a lot of or the weather will be uh, you know too hot. Okay, the temperatures will temperatures, normal temperatures will exceed the average temperature, maybe by 4 degrees centigrade to 5 degrees centigrade. There is a technical definition given by IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, that definition also we will discuss. I am explaining what is the heat wave in normal words. Okay, in a layman's understanding. What is heat wave? Heat wave is generally the presence of hot weather. Okay, outside. Okay, so this is, there is a diversion, or I would say deviation from the general average temperatures. Okay, and this phenomenon will be there continuously for, if this phenomenon is there for 3 to 4 days, continuously for 3 to 4 days on a sustained manner, every day in the noon time and afternoon time, you are experiencing hot climate or higher temperatures much above the normal uh, for 3 to 4 days, that phenomenon is called as heat wave. Okay, This is the general definition. In a layman's words, we can say that there is the weather is too hot, okay, and you know very well what happens in a hot weather. We'll experience dehydration. We will not be able to focus on our work. Okay, people feel exhausted. Okay, many outside laborers who are working outdoors, the agricultural laborer and the daily wage laborers, they will be working outside. It becomes very difficult for them because it will be continuously sweating, you know, too much heat. Water, they will be continuously losing water because of the sweating. So their capacity to work also decreases. In rare cases or in extreme cases, it will also lead to death. Okay. Alright. These are the basic or general impacts you will see about the heat wave. Okay. So this is the general understanding of the heat wave and general definition of the heat wave. Now we will try and understand the definition given by the IMD. Okay. So Indian Meteorological Department. This is the body with respect to generally the weather conditions. Okay. So IMD has given a definition for heat wave. You try to remember this definition, because if you put this definition in the examination, that will give you a better impression. Okay. So generally, uh, its definition can be divided into two parts. Okay. First part is based on the maximum temperatures. Okay. Maximum temperature. So they have given a limit. Okay. So what is that limit? Based on the maximum temperature, a place or region can be declared that okay, heat wave is prevalent in this region based on, if you take normal plain regions or plains, okay, the temperature should not exceed 40 degrees centigrade, or we will say if the temperature reached 40 degrees centigrade or exceeded it, then that region, if it is a plain, it can be declared as a heat wave region. Okay. Then if you take the coastal region, okay, the temperature should not cross the 37 degrees Celsius mark. Okay. So in a coastal region, example, Vijayawada is a coastal region. Okay. More than Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam is a coastal region. Then if you take Odisha, state of Odisha, along its coast, if temperatures are crossing or reaching 37 degrees Celsius, that region can be declared as a heat wave region. Means, or the state government, or according to the NDMA guidelines, that region can be declared as heat wave impacted region. Okay. Similarly, if you take hills, okay, or hilly regions like Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, the northeastern part of the country, or if you take the Western Ghats, the states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, maybe in Karnataka, if temperature reaches or crosses 30 degrees Celsius, this can be declared as a heat wave situation. Okay. So based on the maximum temperatures, you see if temperatures are crossing this much, crossing or reaching this maximum limits, then that particular region can be declared as a heat wave affected or impacted region. Okay. Then second definition is deviation from the average temperature. Based on the temperature deviation. So in a particular region, it can be any region. Okay. If the temperature records more than 4.5 degrees Celsius from the average temperature, okay, average temperature there, then that situation can also be declared as a heat wave situation. Okay. Right. So let's say a particular region, average temperature is 42 degrees. Okay. Let's take particular region, maybe Gujarat or Rajasthan. We will take Gujarat. We will take there. The average temperature in summer season is 42 degree centigrade. But on a certain day, it reached, okay, 40 degree centigrade, 46 degree centigrade, or we will say it reached 47 degrees centigrade. Okay. On a particular day, 47 degree centigrade. So there is how much deviation from the summer normal? Almost 5 degrees centigrade. This is more than the standard IMD standard of 4.5 degree centigrade. So there is deviation of more than 4.5 degree Celsius. Then this situation can also be declared as a heat wave situation in that particular state. Okay, state of Gujarat. Okay, now you understand how based on the maximum temperature and how based on the deviation a region can be declared as a heat wave region or a situation can be declared as a heat wave situation. Okay, to add to this, if the deviation is much more than 4.5 degrees centigrade and if the deviation is more than 6.7 degrees Celsius, then this situation can be declared as severe heat wave. This situation can be declared as severe heat wave. Okay, so remember, this is the heat wave, this is the severe heat wave. The heat wave condition itself is very difficult to bear, so you can imagine the impact or imagine the situation if there is a severe heat wave. Okay, right. So this is the standard definition given by IMD with respect to heat wave, and NDMA previously also have mentioned National Disaster Management Authority, which is the highest body or apex body with respect to the disaster management in the country, and it is accepting the definition given by IMD. And the situation, if in any region, if temperatures are exceeding these limits, then NDMA can declare that region as a heat wave affected region. Okay, so this is the impact of, the definition of heat wave. Okay, uh, it's simple, don't worry much. Okay, you try to remember few numbers, then you can happily quote those numbers in the examination, then which will give you a better impression about your answer for the evaluator. Okay, then we will move forward and we will see the regions or which are the more vulnerable regions. Okay, so now we will see the vulnerable regions. Okay, regions with respect to heat waves. Okay, so broadly, if this is the country, our country, okay, so you know very well this northwestern part of the country. Okay, northwestern region, this is compared to other parts of the country, this is a hot and arid region. So this northwestern region including Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat, okay, a part of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, this region is very much prone to heat waves. Okay, you know very well Rajasthan itself is having a desert. Okay, Thar desert, the temperatures are very high in temperature. It's the desert itself, and almost all the Rajasthan state and Gujarat and parts of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, including Punjab and Haryana. Though Punjab and Haryana are very close to Himalayas, in the summer season they experience very high temperatures or very hot climate or very hot weather, including Delhi. Okay, so if you go to Delhi or if you go to Punjab, Haryana, you can see how much heat will be there. Okay, apart from that, we can include two more states, that is Uttar Pradesh and Bihar also. For that matter, the northern part of the country experiences very hot climate during the summer season. The reason you might have studied very well in geography, that is the that is because of the continental effect. Okay, continental effect, that is called as continental effect. Okay, the continental effect, briefly I will try to understand, however you will study that in detail in geography. Okay, so if you take South India, there is ocean present. Okay, and both the sides, the western side also and the eastern side also. Okay, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal. Okay, seas and oceans are present in the, especially covering the southern India, especially the distance. Okay, middle, if you see the middle of the, from the middle of the country or middle of the southern part of the country to ocean, there is not much difference. Maybe 250 kilometers maximum is 300 kilometers either side. Okay, so the ocean has a moderating impact on the climate of southern India. Moderating impact. Okay, so what is the meaning of moderating impact? You know very well, compared to the land mass, water heats up very slowly and also cools down very slowly. Okay, what is the benefit of this? So during the summer season, the land mass will gets heated up very faster, but the ocean has gradually it heats up, not that suddenly or that fastly it heats up. So whenever there are sea breezes which will blow from surface of the sea to the land mass, so little bit of that coolness these sea breezes will bring onto the land mass, and they will reduce the impact of hot weather there, or they will reduce the temperatures a little bit. Okay, in winter season also that happens. Land cools up very fastly, it loses the temperature or heat, whereas water loses the heat very less, and that time little bit of heat it will give to the land area. So in this way, if you see the temperature range, in southern India, both annual and daily, okay, they are very less. Daily maybe you will see 22 degree to 27 degree Celsius in southern India temperature range. Annually maybe you will see in winters maybe it will be 15 degree centigrade, and in summers maybe 30 degree centigrade. Okay, 30 to 30 degree centigrade. This is very high for the northern India, especially the interior of northern India. Okay, in the summer season the temperatures will reach an average 40 degrees centigrade, and in winter season the temperatures will reach 5 degrees centigrade to 6 degrees centigrade. Even if you, in extreme conditions, if you go to Punjab and Haryana region, the temperature reaches even 1 degree centigrade, in some cases 0 degrees centigrade, and it goes to -1 -2 also. Okay, then you can see the range. Okay, maximum is 45 and the minimum is 0 degree centigrade. This is the annual difference. Daily also you will see huge difference. Okay, maximum it can reach up to 45 degrees centigrade, and in the night time same day it may fall down to 22 degrees centigrade or 20 degree centigrade. Okay, why? Because the moderating effect that the southern part of the country has, that is not there for the northern part of the country, because there is no presence of ocean. Okay, this particular phenomenon is called as continental effect or continentality. Okay, so this phenomenon of continentality or continental effect has huge significance with respect to climate of a region or weather of a region. Okay, so you remember these aspects and try to learn them more about in the geography. Okay, geography you will study very well in detail about that. Okay, so you will remember why there is huge difference between the climate of northern India and southern India. This is basically because of the continental effect. Okay, right. So that's why, so I was explaining the heat wave prone regions in our country. So northern part of the country, almost all of the northern part of the country, and especially the northwestern part of the country is very much prone to heat wave. Okay, then apart from that, the central India. Okay, apart from that, the central India states of Madhya Pradesh, okay, Karnataka, Maharashtra, okay, Madhya Pradesh, okay, then Chhattisgarh, okay, these states are also prone to the heat waves. Okay, severe heat waves. Okay, then in southern part if you come, states like Telangana, okay, states like Telangana, even Andhra Pradesh, especially the coastal AP, the regions of Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam, they see huge sunny days. Okay, or severe sunny days, especially along the coastal part. Okay, apart from that, even states like Chennai, which are close to the equator, they also witness heat waves. Earlier they used to be very rare, but unfortunately because of the impact like climate change, etc., even the regions which are close to ocean and which are close to equator, where temperature is not that much huge, okay, or temperature range is not that much huge, these regions are also witnessing the heat wave impact. Okay, so these are the regions which are prone to heat waves. Okay, after that, if we see the impact of the heat wave, okay, what is going to happen or what will happen with the heat waves impact? If we see, the impacts are common. You will see on your, I mean, you might have experienced yourself the impact of heat waves. Okay, so it is like impacts are like dehydration. Okay, dehydration. What is the meaning of dehydration? You will lose water from your body because of the excessive sweating. Okay, why there will be excessive sweating? Because our body temperature increases, and to reduce that bodily temperature there will be sweating from the body, okay, from the skin, so that the body temperature can be cooled or surface of the body can be cooled. Okay, because of this excessive sweating, body loses water. Because of that, dehydration happens. How we can prevent this dehydration? Simply, you have to continuously consuming water. Okay, continuously consuming water. It is advised that during the summer season you consume 4 to 5 liters of water, at least 4 to 5 liters of water in a day. Okay, so if you follow this simple step, okay, if it is possible, you try to take glucose water, that is much more advisable. Okay, but normal water also, if you are taking 4 to 5 liters in a day, that is going to address the dehydration to a large extent. Okay, then the impacts like dizziness, okay, okay, these will be there. Health impacts will be there. Apart from that, impacts like normal health impacts like you will not feel like concentrating on your work because of the lot of heat, uh, because of continuous loss of energy and water. You will not focus on work. This proves much more difficult for the laborer or laborers who are working in outdoors. Okay, outdoors people who are working in outdoors, it becomes very difficult for them to focus on their work. Okay, because of this dehydration, dizziness, okay, loss of energy. Then there will be heat stroke. Okay, so what will happen in the heat stroke? Though there is excessive sweating, still that sweating unable or sometimes fails to cool down the body sufficiently. Then what will happen? The impacted person will lose his consciousness. Okay, then what happens? He will fell down the place where he is staying or she is staying. Okay, and it takes for them to recover, and in rare cases or extreme cases this may lead to death also. Okay, so every year you will be hearing that people working in particular farm, they have died suddenly. The deaths are occurring because of the severe heat strokes, or sometimes it is called as sunstroke also. Okay, why people are losing their lives or they are becoming unconscious because of the sunstroke? There is a phenomenon called wet bulb phenomenon. Okay, there is a phenomenon called wet bulb phenomenon. Okay, wet bulb phenomenon. So what is this wet bulb phenomenon? It is there is a limit. The wet bulb phenomenon says that there is a limit with respect to cooling of a surface. Okay, let's say from inside there is or from the outside there is continuously temperature continuously is there. Then if there is a surface, it tries to cool that surface from the inside. Okay, there is a mechanism to cool that surface from inside, but there is a limit. Let's imagine if the surface is this internal mechanism can keep this surface, if the from external temperature there is, temperature or heat is being provided from outside, or heat is attacking the surface up to 35 degrees centigrade only, this internal mechanism can cool this surface or can cool this body up to 35 degrees centigrade. Okay, after that, if this temperature crosses this limit, this internal mechanism can no longer keep this surface cooler. Okay, so this will lose its capacity to cool down this body or this temperature. Okay, so that phenomenon is called as wet bulb phenomenon. Right, if we see with it with respect to human body, so the human body, when there is huge temperature in the atmosphere, okay, the body's internal body has a capacity to cool down the body up to only a certain limit. Okay, after that, the body or bodily system will not be in a position to control or cool down the body anymore. Okay, so with experiments have proved that this limit is 35 degrees centigrade. Once the temperature generally crosses this temperature outside, the body generally loses its capacity to cool down the human body sufficiently. Okay, excretion, that system is called as excretion system. Sweating, through the mechanism of sweating on the skin, the body tries to cool the temperature, or try to reduce the temperature of the body, okay, through the mechanism of excretion of sweat. But if the temperature outside reaches maybe 35 degrees centigrade, the body loses its capacity to reduce the temperature of the body or reduce the hotness of the body. That phenomenon is called as wet bulb phenomenon. Okay, so because of that, a person witnesses heat stroke or sunstroke and he loses consciousness. Okay, and in rare cases that may also lead to in extreme cases that may also lead to death of the person. Okay, apart from that, these are the human health impacts. Apart from that, there will be impact on agriculture. Okay, so with the increasing temperatures, heat wave is nothing but increasing the temperature. There will be severe impact on the production and productivity of a crop. Production and productivity of a crop. Okay, you are seeing this, you have studied, you might have studied in environment also. When you study climate change, how increasing global temperatures are impacting the production and productivity of agricultural crops. Okay, and further it will impact the biodiversity on the country, of the earth. Okay, so it is going to impact the biodiversity. In increased temperature, the animals or wildlife or wild animals will feel it much more difficult to survive, because they will face problems like forest fires, non-availability of water, etc., non-availability of food and fodder. So because of all these reasons, there will be impact on biodiversity also. Okay, so broadly these are the 4 to 5 impacts of heat waves. Okay, right. After that, we will discuss about the measures. So finally, we have to take measures so that we can reduce the impact of heat wave. Okay, right. So it's we can address the heat wave to certain extent if we can address the climate change. You have to remember that heat wave, it became much more frequent because of the adverse impact of climate change only. So the only way we can address it broadly or extensively is by addressing the climate change. Okay, but if we have to mitigate, okay, if we have to mitigate the effect or impact of heat wave, okay, what measures we can take. This is part and parcel of disaster management. Okay, as part of disaster management, how we can mitigate. Okay, so this heat wave we are studying from the point of view of disaster management. So what measures we can take to mitigate the impact of heat wave, briefly we will discuss. Okay, first and foremost thing is we have to focus on early warning systems. early warning system. So what we have to do in as part of early warning system, our weather forecasting should improve. Okay, we have to predict that okay, in the coming few days the temperatures are going to increase drastically. That we have to find out through our weather forecasting system. And again, once again, for this IMD is responsible. Okay, so it based on that prediction, it has to warn the people. Okay, appropriate through the appropriate means, through the newspapers, through the audio visual channels. Okay, through the electric medium and through the social media also. Okay, now everybody has mobile phones, that too smart mobile phones, so we can send alerts to the people, and we can send text messages to the people that okay, in the next coming days heat wave is going to come, so you be careful, you take appropriate precautions. Okay, then what other ways, what are the other ways we can do? Like I mentioned, we have to address the climate change. Okay, so at the broader level, international level, okay, we have to address, if we are taking measures to address climate change, that will also help a lot in addressing the heat waves. Okay, then we have to increase the green spaces. Okay, green spaces, or we put it like this, afforestation. Okay, we have to uh, we have to focus on afforestation. Okay, so planting of trees, afforestation and reforestation also, where actually from where we have removed the forest cover, then replanting the trees there, and bringing new areas into and or under the forest cover. This will also help a lot in addressing the impact of heat wave. Okay, then another measure we can take is urban planning. Urban planning, we have to focus on urban planning. Okay, there is a phenomenon called urban heat island effect. Okay, you might have heard about it, urban heat island effect. What is this effect? If this is a city, okay, you take peripheral area, temperature here will be 2 to 3 degrees more in this city compared to the surrounding region or other region. Okay, so why this is? Because of various reasons. First of all, no green space is there or no greenery is there, then everything is concrete. Okay, concrete buildings, skyscrapers, paved roads. Okay, what they will all these have, they have the capability or capacity of taking or taking up radiation, taking up heat and retaining it. Okay, absorbing heat and retaining it for longer time. So all these aspects are increasing the average temperature in the urban areas. Okay, so because of this increased temperature, the weather is hotter in the urban areas compared to the surrounding regions. That is called as urban heat island effect, and this is also leading to heat waves, more heat waves in the urban areas. Okay, what we can do, we have to address heat. What are the measures we can do? What are the measures we can do? That is better urban planning. Okay, so increase the green spaces in urban area. Green spaces are like public parks, and more and more these tanks in urban areas. Okay, lakes and tanks in urban cities. Then urban developing urban forest. Okay, urban forestry, maybe small acres, maybe in a small place, maybe 1 acre, 1 acre, 2 acres of land patch it can be, but you can develop the urban forest through the Miyawaki method. Okay, Miyawaki method, we can develop the forest in urban areas, that is known as urban forest. Okay, along the roads also, on the dividers and on the sides of the roads also you can develop plantation. Okay, all these things are going to reduce the heat wave in the urban areas. This we can achieve by proper urban planning. Okay, so these are the measures: early warning, then afforestation, there are urban planning. Other measures can be like generation of awareness or awareness generation. So the government through various media like print and digital news channels, then along with social media, they have to educate people about the heat wave, okay, and about the measures through which individually and as a society the people can escape or they can reduce the impact of the heat wave. They can mitigate the impact of heat wave. Okay, so these are individual measures can be like taking properly rehydrating the body. Okay, not venturing outside during the hot weather time. Okay, especially during the afternoon time. Okay, then consuming lot of fruits and vegetables which have the capability or which have the nature of cooling the body. Okay, fruits like watermelon, then vegetables like lauki. These, if we are consuming these type of foods, we can escape. Actually, we can escape the impact of heat wave. Then drinking coconut water, etc. These will also help in reducing or mitigating the impact of heat wave. If you have to definitely venture outside, okay, so you have to cover your body properly, and people who are working outside, they have to continuously keep their body hydrated, and they have to wear appropriate clothes, so that cotton clothes, especially cotton clothes, so which have the capacity of absorbing the sweat and keeping the body cool. Okay, then in between, maybe after 1 hour or 1.5 hour, they have to take frequent breaks, continuous breaks. If they are taking, people who are working outdoors, they can escape the impact of heat wave. Okay, so these are the measures that we can take to prevent the or mitigate the impact of heat wave. Okay, so previously there was a question in the mains on the heat wave. Okay, so in the future also, because this frequency of heat waves is increasing in our country. Every year you are studying in newspaper during the summer season, some people are losing their, unfortunately some people are losing their lives due to heat wave. So once again, there is a chance of question being asked in the about the heat wave in disaster management. And apart from that, prelims also, always you can expect a question from disaster management. Okay, so we will stop here. Next time we will meet with a different time. Okay, until then, have a good time.